You ready? Hey, Coach.
Questions?
Will Wilkins, give us an eval of how you thought he performed in his first start.
Played hard. You know, he was a freshman in that environment. I thought he was into the game. I think he'd like to have a lot of plays back, but I also think he competed his tail off. So and I think Scotty did too when he got in there. You got to get some help. I mean, hell, if you can't score from the 1-inch line, you know, it's ridiculous. Get shoved around on offense and get shoved around on defense. It's not good. We got to get better at that.
Big plays on defense, giving those up. I mean, you saw that last week too. What'd you say?
He can't make a play on the ball in the air. Mm-hmm. I mean, all those long pass plays, they did whatever they want. I don't know how many first downs they had, but there's just, I mean, you can't don't make a punt. How many times did they punt it all once?
The end.
Yeah. Don't make the other team punt, you're probably going to lose. 2 games in a row.
Any silver linings offensively? You seem like you blocked a little bit better. Anything you can take
I don't
from
know
it?
if we blocked any better. I think, you know, quarterback, we had to have quarterback run game to run anything, so I'm not sure we blocked any better. But, yeah. No. The 2 young quarterbacks, you know, they're freshmen, so I think in that environment, I think they put it themselves okay. And Scotty made some nice throws, made a nice run. Cleo made some nice runs. He probably had a few things he'd like to come back, but shoot, that was a tough environment to get your first start in. And the guy that wasn't able to practice all the way up until August because of his injury in the spring. So proud of those 2 guys.
You mentioned the environment a few times now.
Yeah, they got a great
stood out to
environment.
you?
They did. I haven't been there for a game. I've heard about it, and you know they're kind of like our student section. Our students get into it, and theirs do too. They you know, when we were backed up a little bit back in there, it was hard to hear a couple of times. But you know, they did a nice job with that whole atmosphere.
How limited were you offensive play calling wise because you had such young quarterbacks?
Well, that was a little bit to that, but also we can't pass protect long enough. If you do call drop back pass and can't get open versus press man sometimes. Sometimes we can. So we got to try to create some ways for those guys to have some success. And you know, we're not going to be good enough to have, like, I don't want to say you have to be perfect, but with your assignments and stuff, but you got to be pretty close on mark. And the hard part is when everybody's going to play different fronts and change things up a little bit, and we can't overcome a lot of negative yardage plays, if that makes sense. So that was a part of it that killed some drives.
What are your thoughts on Bear Bachmeyer and his performance?
Oh yeah, man, we made it look like the Heisman winner in the first half. You know, hand him the Heisman. And he's a good player, tough, runs, you know, everything we thought, and his accuracy on his deep balls was great. I mean, their guys made some nice plays, and we didn't, but yeah, I thought he was outstanding. He really was.
Ty gets a couple of carries tonight, but obviously I know you'd like to get him in there.
Yeah,
more.
he's not
Does he
100%.
change things a little
Well,
bit?
he should, but a couple of times he's a 225-pound guy, and you think he'd, you know. So we got to help him a little bit too up front.
Scouting report wise, anything really changed from what you guys expected once you guys got here and saw what they were doing?
On which side of the ball?
Either side of the ball.
Well, I don't know. I talked to our defensive coaches. I don't know some of those early deep shots. I always expect to play action deep ball in the first play of the game is what's that happened. But defensively, they played a little more coverage earlier in the game, but pretty much is kind of what we saw, what we thought we'd see. And they did. They got a couple. I know Kalani was concerned after. I think a couple of his backers got hurt maybe, but they're an athletic, a long athletic team. They got a couple of NFL linebackers, 17, 16.
Any news on your injured quarterbacks, Nico or Jalen, anything you want
No, I
to talk
ain't,
about?
I ain't seen Nico. He ain't on campus yet. Jalen, we did travel because he might could have went as emergency quarterback, but he wasn't going to be ready to go. We got an open week, so we'll see if Jalen could come back in 2 weeks, and then I won't make a decision on who's starting until game time, the next game. We need open day. We're tired, we're beat up, mad, frustrated, all the above.
Do you
You
expect
mentioned
it?
a couple of weeks ago, the gap between your first team offensive line and second, some of the backups, and then last week thought that they had improved some. Anything to that there, or not really?
No, I mean we already got some guys got some reps today, but I didn't notice anything different. But we're going to evaluate everything. I do every day. Every week, win or lose, we evaluate. Especially with open day, we're going to evaluate, see what we can do, coach better. We'll see how we can play better. And I told the team, our guys in the locker room, is everybody doing everything they can to help us win? If they are, we still ain't winning, then we know. I know how to fix it. It's not my first rodeo. I know how to fix it. Someone's going to be fixed, after the season. But are we doing everything we can to win? And we're doing it every person in the program, and that's. I'm not saying we're not, but I think there's another level we can get to.
With the open week coming up, do you have an idea of how you're going to balance rest, preparation?
I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I know exactly how I'm practicing. I know exactly how I'm meeting. And, like I said, this is been around a little bit, and I know exactly what we need to do, and we'll do that.
Okay, thank you, Coach.